Hey, what is up, YouTube? It's Rick. I am a financial coach. I am the mafia boss of the debt-free mafia. And hey, in this video, I wanted to tell you why I think car payments are stupid. Now, it kind of seems a little bit brash because I'm using such a harsh word, but once you kind of do the math, you kind of start to realize, hey, maybe this isn't the wisest decision. I'm going to show you why a car payment is a waste of money in the long term versus whenever you could be taking that same money and using it as an investment. This really comes down to the cost of the debt that you have, which is taking on this car loan versus investing in your future. So in today's video, I really just kind of wanted to go through just a little bit of math of what the cost of debt looks like. Most of the clients that I work with, they have no idea that taking out these car loans or even student loans or credit cards or any kind of debt, there's actually a cost to it. There's a number to it. It's literally what you could be making with doing wise investments versus what you're doing putting everything on credit and making other people all the interest. So this is what I kind of want to go through. I'm going to share my screen and kind of go through just some staggering numbers with you that I think are pretty important to know. So let me switch over to this. This is, of course, is all according to Lending Tree. So the first thing I kind of want to go over, this is just crazy to me. The average monthly car payment in the United States is $550 for new vehicles. And I know way too many recent college grads that once they are in the workforce for, 2 or 3 years, they decide, hey, I've got enough money and my student payments are pretty low. I'm just going to go ahead and finance a car. And almost all the time it's a brand new car. So that's $550 a month. That's crazy to me. $393 for used is still just staggering to me. And then don't even get me started about leasing. Leasing is the biggest waste of money that you could possibly do, in my opinion. But that's for another video. But in this video, I wanted to talk about why there's a huge cost of debt. So we're going to go off this 550 number because I think that's pretty staggering. I thought this is nuts. Americans owe over 1.2 trillion in auto loan debt. Like, what? That's nuts. Auto debt makes up almost 10% of consumer debt. Still crazy. On average, American takes out about 51 billion in 2.3 million new auto loans each month. Yeah, that's why those car salesmen are so pushy, because there's a lot of money in it. Americans borrow an average of $32,000, just over $32,000 for new vehicles and $20,000 for used. I mean, those are some pretty wild numbers to me. So one thing we want to talk about is what the cost of debt is. So the cost of debt, like I kind of mentioned before, is what your money's potential could have been versus what you're doing with it. So one thing I do with all my clients is we take all of our debt payments and we find out what we're contributing to, not only just debt a month, but what we're contributing to debt payments per year. Because month to month, it kind of seems not bad. Like if you've noticed, and marketers know this, they know that you're more worried about the monthly payment versus the total payment. So they advertise vehicles on car payments, which it's a lot easier to push that little number versus how much you're paying in the long run, because then you don't get to see how much principal affects everything, or principal versus interest is how much you're paying on interest for it. I mean, it's pretty crazy. So what I like to do is we add up all these numbers, and then we find out how much we're paying on debt every year. And what we do is we take that number, and instead of paying on debt, we plug it into a calculator that shows us what it would have been earning us in interest and what it can earn us in interest if we were to contribute that into a really smart investment that earns about 12%, which is pretty good. Even if I'm half wrong, I think you're still going to like what it is. But whatever that number is that we're contributing towards debt, it shows us, hey, this is the number we could have had. Instead, we chose to live paycheck to paycheck, making these car payments and credit card payments and all these other things. Now, there's a massive amount of psychology behind car payments. And it's really, really hard because you see people constantly driving these very nice vehicles. And I actually shared a post the other day by Ken Coleman, and he talked about the top 10 brands that you see millionaires drive. If you had to guess, what would you say the number one brand is? Well, it's Toyota. And the reason being is because Toyota is a really reliable brand and it's really inexpensive compared to most other brands. I think the nicest brands that were on that top 10 list were like Mercedes and BMW, but they were not I don't even think they were in the top 4. I think it was all pretty inexpensive vehicles, which I thought was pretty wild. And most of the millionaires that I've personally met, most of them, they only buy used vehicles because they understand how much money you lose as soon as you drive a new vehicle off the lot. And they typically just, their whole point is to get from A to B. They don't try to impress anybody. Most millionaires are not millionaires to impress people. Believe it or not, I think it's around 65% of millionaires are first-time millionaires. Like their family was not millionaires before them. They had to work themselves in to be a millionaire. So I wanted to share this, but also I want to go into this. I want to show you, this is the Dave Ramsey Investment and Retirement Calculator. I love to use this tool because it just gives a really ballpark answer of kind of, what the cost of debt is for you. So I kind of want to go into, we talked about a recent college grad working in the workforce for a little time. So we're going to do 25-year-old. Let's say you're a 25-year-old. Let's say you wanted to plan to retire at 65. This is like, okay, when are you going to cash it, not necessarily stop working? So let's just say 65. 65 is a pretty common number. Let's say that we haven't saved anything for retirement. Most 25-year-olds haven't. And then, so what I want to do is we'll go back to here. Let's take this 550 for new vehicles, which is the American average. We're going to, instead of buying a brand new car, we're going to keep driving the old car that we have and keep an emergency fund for maintenance for it. Instead of paying $550 every month, we're going to take that $550 and put it towards retirement. Now, it is very realistic to get a 12% turn on a 30-year S&P 500 investment. So we're going to go with 12%. Trust me on this. Okay, so we're going to be, what is that? We're going to be working for 40 years, putting in $550. That's as if we don't get raises or anything like that. Because, typically you want to live a life where you stay on the same budget realistically and keep contributing more and more and more towards your retirement if you can. Now let's calculate this and see what we come up with. Look at that. 6.5 million, just under 6.5 million. What if I'm half wrong? At 65 years old, you're going to have 3.25 million. Like, that's nuts. Literally having a car payment that whole time is costing you millions. Millions. And I really want you to ask yourself, like, why do I drive this new vehicle? Buying a used vehicle, like a 2010 or even like a 2003 model, I mean, the way they make vehicles now, they're just so safe. That really can't be your concern. What else could it be? Most people overbuy on their vehicles because they care what people think. And I'm just being honest, and I'm not gonna lie because I was there. I remember before we went through our whole debt journey, I really wanted to buy my wife a Mercedes because I got a job at GE, got a house, and I was like, you know what? What else would put me on top? Oh, I'm gonna buy my wife a Mercedes. I think I went and looked at it, and I think they were like $600 a month, and it was like the cheapest Mercedes. Oh man, I am so glad I didn't do that because that would have just been a ball and chain around my ankle. I would have had to have carried around, and I would have just taken a hit on it, and I'm so glad I didn't do it. Now, I made this video not to beat you up if you have a car payment, because statistically you do have a car payment. Most people watching this video are going to have a car payment. Now, what I'm showing you is there's a cost to you having this car payment. Yes, you get the vehicle now, which is what financing is all about. Get it now, pay later. What I'm asking you is to change your mindset. What about save for it, buy it in cash, it's yours. The bank no longer owns it anymore. You own it. And you can take all the other cash that you've been saving and you're able to monthly contribute it to your retirement. And guess what? One of the biggest things that I think a lot of people don't realize is doing stuff like this is not only going to be a blessing to you, but it's going to be a blessing to your lineage. Most of you, or a lot of you, are going to have kids. Some of you might not. But don't we want to live a life where instead of driving the newest car, maybe we could save well and then become millionaires so that we can help people or contribute to something that we care about, or just be generous givers? Now that's kind of also factored into that cost. Car payment, living generously. Anyways, guys, I don't think it's smart to have a car payment. I think it costs you a lot of money in the long run. But I really hope that this is encouraging. I'm really, again, not trying to beat you up. I just want you to look at this perspective in a different light, kind of see it from the point of a financial coach such as myself. But if you guys like this, if you like more videos about personal finance, how to win with money, how to tackle debt quickly, how to take care of your household, how to set up so that your children's children are set up, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. It really, really helps me out. I've got an algorithm I got to beat, so you guys doing that just helps me out all the more. Let me know in the comments, just because I'm curious. Have you ever financed a car? What arguments do you have against me? I'd love to know what your arguments are, because I've had people contest me on this, and I'd love to know what you guys think. Maybe we can make some more videos off of your questions. Anyways, guys, again, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'm so thankful for you stopping by. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to speak with you. Anyways, guys, I hope you have a good one. Peace.